In 1896, in Plessy and Ferguson, the US Supreme Court ushered in the Jim Crow era, where it was lawful to discriminate against people of colour by providing separate but equal facilities. In that judgment, the judges took segregated schooling for granted. Of course, in reality, separate was never equal. The National Association for the Advancement of Coloured People worked to bring forward the right test cases to force a decision on the notion of separate but equal in schooling. Eventually, they gathered together a range of plaintiffs whose cases were considered together by the Supreme Court. The lead plaintiff, Oliver Brown, had a little girl named Linda who had been denied entry to her closest local elementary school because it was designated all white. Instead, she had to travel by bus to the nearest school for students of colour. The two schools were acknowledged to be comparable in terms of facilities, teaching, and so forth, and the bus was provided for free. The case brought forward was not that Linda received an inferior education at the school for students of colour, but that it was inherently wrong that such a difference in schools existed at all. The Supreme Court was therefore given an opportunity to overturn the doctrine of Plessy and Ferguson. In a unanimous decision, the court found that separate was inherently unequal. Writing for the court, Chief Justice Warren said, "To separate elementary and high school children from others of similar age and qualifications solely because of their race generates a feeling of inferiority as to their status in the community that may affect their hearts and minds in a way unlikely ever to be undone." He then quoted from a decision in Kansas which said, "The impact is greater when it has the sanction of law, for the policy of separating the races is usually interpreted as denoting the inferiority of the Negro group. A sense of inferiority affects the motivation of a child to learn. Segregation with the sanction of law, therefore, has a tendency to retard the educational and mental development of Negro children and to deprive them of some of the benefits they would receive in a racially integrated school system." Of course, Brown was the start and not the end of the story of desegregation in American public schooling, but after Brown, separate but equal was an abandoned historical doctrine.